Alright, welcome back to Starcraft 2 visual novel. My voice is getting hoarse from all the reading. Alright, so we're at the bar. I'll try and not read everything, because I'm gonna lose my voice if I keep doing this. The trending look, okay, is packed with 20 people, alright. Stunt walks ahead of us with the swagger, noting with pride on the way over to our table that he has a fake ID and goes to bars all the time. With who? Your mom? With your mom, bitch. My mom is in the US though. Oh, her flight landed already? I can't help but laugh. Stunt is incredibly immature even for his age, but there's something undeniably uplifting about his enthusiasm. With all the booths full, we pick our table close to an empty dance floor. It's cramped with the 5 of us, but we make do. Man, I can't remember the last time I went out like this. Spent so much of this year coped up. Crashed team house. Same. VIP's mandatory hours were brutal by Starcraft 2 standards. No one even made good use of them. Scruffy waiter dressed no differently than the bar's patron stops by to take our drink orders before Stunt can return to bragging about his iron stomach. Just shows 3 fingers for the number of soju bottles she wants. With the click of his tongue, the waiter departs with our order in hand. There's 5 of us though, Jet. You think I can't count? You don't drink soju from the bottle. Oh well, never had it before. That is not a surprise. Soju is unpopular outside Korea. We'll show you how to do it right, Mark. While awaiting the server's return, I notice Accel glancing repeatedly in Reva's direction. Mark, what is happening with Reva, and who's your friend here? That's Reva. I am Reva, and allow me to say that this is great pleasure to meet you in person. Your play has an inspiration. Oh, she's a fangirl. To me. Oh, is Reva an Accel fangirl? She have been maybe 15 at the prime of his Brood War career. Well, a shame that these punks didn't have the decency to introduce us properly. It's nice to finally meet you, Reva. No lie, your mech is the best I've seen outside the VSL. You've got to show me your timings on your double armory build at some point. Ooh, what? You too. I think he broke her. It's okay, Reva. I've been there. Reva manages to mostly pull herself out of her fangirl shock by the time our waiter returns. When he's gone, Accel pours out the shot of glassware for soju and hands it to me. Go on, in one gulp. There isn't much liquid in the glass, so I throw it back without the second thought. It takes a few seconds for my taste buds to react. But this stuff is awful. It's all I can do not to retch. It's good. How does a girl learn Korean without coming across soju at least once? It's kind of impressive, actually. I learned online. Was ever part of my lessons, I guess. That is one of the most difficult ways to learn a language. How did you manage? K-pop and Starcraft. They didn't offer Korean as language option at my high school, so I studied it in my spare time. K-pop. Disgusting. I knew you were Korea boo scum. At least I did something useful with my dumb hobbies. Can you say the same? How's your English? 0. Hello, I am Stunt Protas. I am the one. Very bad. Used 2 names to help and said lies. Bad student and player needs to work harder. Reva asked for my approval with a look. I give it with a nod. What? Bad what? What'd she say, Mark? Bad luck. You're almost perfect. I knew it. I'm a natural. I pour out the shot for Accel, relieved when the culture test is over. Jet's 3 bottles are soon emptied and then replaced. The soju-fueled conversation ranged from Starcraft and team houses to fashion and college, and whatever else in between. You 3 are so lucky. Korean guys dropped 2 of our golden years on the military, so it's only unfair. Tell him, Accel. Stunt points at Jet, me, and then Reva. Neither of them seem particularly ruffled. Accel only watches, slightly drunk and highly entertained. I would gladly spend 2 years in our military to reap the benefits of your gender. Seriously, do you have any idea how uncomfortable being pressured into some brain-dead photo shoot with a pink keyboard is? Headphones don't sell themselves, you know. Why don't you lose the team jacket and put down your shirt a bit? Oh, I want to see you with double eyes. Eyelids by next time. It's just like that. Literally the worst. Dear God, Jet, please never do that again. Sponsors pay you to sit in front of a camera. How terrible. Don't tell me that there aren't advantages for girls in sports. He is right, there are huge advantages for women in esports. It's so much easier to get on a team. I'm not sure about that one. And you get away with more fans. That is true. Very, very true. You cannot understand without experiencing it firsthand, so you only see the good. Come on, Mac, back me up here. What could possibly have made you think I'd be on your side in this argument? Your free are so dramatic. What could possibly be worth trading away the free popularity? When I was an amateur back in Brood War, some gross PGA pen pusher said he'd help me get my pro license if I spent the night at his place. I had just turned 17. All of our eyes turned to Jet, surprised. Though Stunt's most of all, take a moment to silently appreciate that Starcraft 2 doesn't require a pro license to play in Star Leagues. Did you? Do it? No! What the hell? Jet snatches her glass off the table and snaps her arm back. Once Stunt recalls the tricks beneath the table, she returns her drink to her lips with a scowl. Is it a crime to wonder? Jet grins her teeth back and forth with her eyes on Stunt, only turning away when she notices Rev and I watching her. For the record, I reported him and he was fired. Push back or be pushed around. Accel drops his fist to the table with a thump, ending the argument and earning our attention. We're going to play a drinking game. Why? Why? Because we're about to condemn ourselves to the lives of timing attacks, contains, and positional play. He's right. We've got one night to get hammered and we're going to make the most of it. You've convinced me. What do you want to play? Oh, let's play the King's game. Shut up. The King's game is for desperate teenagers. She glances over Stunt and offers a smile to make her point. Nah, chopsticks. It's really simple. I see something that might describe one of us more than the others, and we point at who we think what's said described best. I don't follow. Okay, it's like this. Which of us is most likely to hate Soju? Okay. Then you drink, but we won't count that one. Oh, that makes sense. Why don't you start us off with a few? Okay. Oh man, most likely to end up a neat. I don't know what that is actually, to be honest. Like, that term goes over. Most likely to bang a fan. I know who that is. Most likely to. Oh man. Stunt. Poor Stunt. Most likely to have the worst fans. Which of us has the worst fans? It's like anyone but Accel, and I even just trained fought shatters when she notices 4 chopsticks pointed in her direction. What? Defiantly, Jet aims her own at Accel. He merely grins in response. Be honest, when was the last time you had a meet and greet with session where some fanboys didn't slobber all over you? Your brusque attitude attracts a certain type of fan, Jet. What's that supposed to mean? It means they like when you call someone trash. Come on, you're the one that gives those blank pre-games interviews. Simply say what's on my mind. That's what happens to be how confident I am, then so what? And what does that have to do with my fans? Let's put it like this, Reva. What would you say to the crowd before a big finals match? I would like to thank my fans for cheering for me. I have worked hard to improve my condition. Will send my opponents to Andromeda. I promise to show you good games. So you'll get eager, earnest supporters that love to see you do well. But Jet, your fans want to lose almost as much as they want you to win. That's absurd. People that cheer for my losses aren't my fans. Whatever you want to call them, they're yours and yours alone. Don't pretend like you don't know what we're talking about. I have plenty of very nice and well-intentioned fans. I bet you do. You're just focusing on the minority of terrible ones. Oh, I like the guy who brought up a body pillow with your picture to an autograph session. How could I forget? Oh my god. Jet's expression flashes a mixture of anger and embarrassment. She looks ready to throw a punch. God damn it, Accel. I told you about that and confidence. If any of you ever bring this up again, you die. Okay. Did you sign it? Without consciously realizing it, I find myself just shot glass whizzes past my head and shatters on the wall. From across the room, a few bar's patrons laugh drunkenly at the absurdity. She reaches for another barrel and making sure she gets her points across. I'm left to no choice but to raise my hands and surrender. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. She sets the glass down and looks away from the rest of us, still odd-faced from the negative attention. Oh man. That's an interesting one. Pushing it right out the gate, are we? You're supposed to do a few more questions before you get to this raunchy stuff. Just say that only because you know you're going to lose it one time, despite finding myself staring down for paint of chopsticks. Accel never loses his easygoing smile. I freely admit I've slept with one of my fans before. This question is more like winning than losing anyway, since I'm not much a leech. Do you have a story to go along with it? Pretty much what you'd expect. This one girl used to show up to all my Brood War matches. She'd cheer for me, brought gifts, and led to fan chants. Managed my fan club too. I was knocked out of a startling pretty early a few years back. She was the only person who showed up to my meet and greet afterwards. Asked her if she'd like to go to dinner, and she said yes. It went from there. We dated for more than a year. Had to break it off when she went abroad for university. And now you've got me feeling nostalgic. Thanks, Mac. What a beautiful story. It's hard to tell if that complete lack of emotion on Reva's voice is intentional. I know these kinds of fans. There's always like, oh, when I imagine him practicing all day, my heart aches and I want to make him hot soups. Literally no one has said or ever will say that. They're gonna be saying it when I take my place as the protest bunja. Can't wait to... What? Oh, my makeup Stunt in his place. He laughs obnoxiously when his head hits the table. Someone should really confiscate this kid's... Most likely to be a virgin. Before we can even read, Accel, Jet, and I point our chopsticks in Stunt's direction. He jumps in his seat aghast. He senses weakness in Reva and his answer restores her only to have her repay the favor. This is bullshit. Oh, calm down. You're like, what, 12? You guys have no idea. I'm a player, you hear me? Doubtful. You were hanging out with middle schoolers at the PC Bang when I found you. Be honest with us. Stunt scrunches up his face, allowing his rage to stew momentarily before bursting out with another protest. This is a really good question. You guys are like... have all like at least 4 years extra time to lock out. Virginity confirmed. Drink. Oh, cut the kid some slack. It'd be kind of weird if he wasn't. Breach of trust. Ethics. And harassment on an unreasonable. He makes a box on the table with his finger. Continues exaggerated antiquated protest all the while. This is no bullying area. If you enter the DMZ, I'll retaliate with full force. A neat? Which of us is more likely to end? What the hell is that? For sets. Me? Come on, you give off a powerful shut-in vibe. You do not understand. You're doing it right now. It's like you learned how to communicate from text-to-speech program. Reva, what do you like besides games and esports? Do you have any hobbies? I watch anime. Anything else? See? Jet is doing her best to keep from piling on, but the urge is evident on her face. But I have Starcraft, so I cannot be a need. That should be considered employment. Sure, but the question was who was most likely if you washed out professional gaming. I could totally see you as an MMO addict. I have max level characters and the most popular free, but that does not qualify me as an addict on its own. Good. Are disgustingly grinding, says the Starcraft champion about grind. Just saying, you're in no position to judge her for this. You're literally worse than her in every single way. As someone who played the MMOs hardcore and who played quite a bit of Warcraft 3 and Starcraft 2, you literally have no fucking ground to stand on here. You really aren't helping your case. Okay, answer this. What Starcraft community site do you read and post on the most? It's an image board. Drink, Reva. We finish out our games of chopsticks with a slew of highly inappropriate questions and equally bold answers. I like the soju way more in my stomach than on my lips, though I'm not sure I'll feel the same way in the morning. Our celebration goes late into the night, long enough that we're practically the only patrons left. Old Rules collects at the corner of an unconscious Stunt's lip. Riva's eyes are in focus behind her glasses, but while there's a bit of extra to Accel's typical grin, both he and Jet look as collected as ever. It's late. Accel pulls the phone out of Stunt's pocket and checks the time. Oh, it is. He then replaces the expensive-looking electronic on the young protest player. Jet, the next time you travel for a European tournament, make sure you show up to the after party. Say what you all about their play, but those guys know how to have a good time. Pass. I go for easy prize money, not toward discotheque with Lars and Jorgen. Well, Lars and Jorgen. You guys ready to leave? Yes, should. If we don't wake up after. If we don't want to wake up after noon. This is the worst part of every night out. How the hell are we supposed to get Stunt home? Don't forget, Jet. The bill is all yours. Why did you remind me? I can hail a cab for Stunt, I guess. That sounds... Wait, no, Accel. You're in charge of getting Stunt home. Am I? You are. Team business with these two. Jet thumbs over her shoulder and me and Reva. The two of us share a look while Accel accepts the order with an easy smile. On it then. Wake up, kid. What? Stunt stares through Accel, unresponsive to his offered hand. So much for his iron stomach. Rather than wait out Stunt's stupor, Accel takes the young protest under his arm and simply carries him out the front door, oblivious to the stairs that follow. Now then, let's talk. Are we in trouble? What? No. What would make you think that? I know, I'm getting a parent-teacher confessing vibe. Good, will you just let me... Look, I'm trying to acknowledge the fact that it's unusual for three girls to be on the same team. How's that relevant? Well, yeah, I'm with Reva. If we're not playing in female-only leagues, that doesn't really matter. Except the fact that every single female team that has ever tried to reach a top rated has always fucking failed horribly. Like, really fucking horribly. There's female players, good female players, so amusingly or ironically, the best one is actually transgender, or one of the best ones, Scarlet, looking at that. But seriously, there's never been a team with a female majority that's ever done well. At least in Starcraft. Really too, just shut up and listen. It's not going to change how I run things, but I wanted to at least pass along some things I've learned. Your job is to train hard and win Starcraft, nothing else. The only person you have to represent is yourself. Don't let anyone guilt you into being an activist. I mean, it's what you want to do, then go for it. But you have no obligation to pick up a megaphone because you succeeded. That seems somewhat selfish. Yeah, well, when you win a VSL and you find that the people care more about your gender than your play, let me know if you can change your mind. I get where Jet's coming from, especially considering her history, but I don't think that's all there is to it. Regardless, my main focus is and always will be on winning games. Reva doesn't elaborate any further. Even with a probing stare from Jet, I'm left to fill the silence. I'm just here to play video games. Win at video games, not play. When she's done begrudgingly signing her actual name at the bottom, the three of us head out of the bar and share a cab home. I wake up to the taste of stale soju on my breath. My apartment is mostly dark, save the crack of light coming from my window. It takes a great deal of effort to dredge myself out of bed, but the need to rinse my mouth isn't enough motivation. The first time I ever drank too much, I swore to myself I'd never touch alcohol again. Even if that was a pillage I knew I wouldn't keep, it seems like I won't get another chance for a while now. Well, at least until there's a trophy in our team house. I returned from the sink with a glass of water and fall on into my computer chair. It's too early for ladder, but I might see what's going on. Wait a second, what? What? Via Accel. Every Starcraft fan site is abuzz with news that Jet and Accel are ditching their teams. Accusations of collusion, conspiracy, and corruption abound among Korean and Western fans alike. A laundry list of Crash's coach missteps ranks second to an interview where he shifts the blame onto Accel. With the scent of drama in the air, debates rage wildly on both sides. When Accel said he had a better idea in mind, I had no idea he meant something like this. Isn't the Jet's new team is the talk of the entire Starcraft community? I rushed into the game client, abusing the login client with a button with a dozen clicks in a second until I finally in. Accel is online, as is the rest of our team. But before I can even open a chat window, an invite from Jet throws me into an underway group conversation. Text messages appear almost as quickly as I can read them. What the hell is wrong with you? Hey, relax. You know about what they say about publicity. Well, you should. This is hilarious. Word that stump. Mac and I are joining it. Is out. I've received multiple requests for interviews. You should do it. You don't understand. The deal with Enoch wasn't official. This is going to scratch. Hey, I didn't mention Enoch by name. Just finished the deal and we'll be fine. Yeah, what's stopping Kim from signing us? Accel is kind of right. We have buzz going for us right now. They're saying I poached you. Couldn't you have gotten back at your coach some other way? Nope, and I'll get back at him more when I stomp Crash in Team League. It would be prudent to speak with Mr. Kim as soon as possible, Jet. I know. We're meeting at MDM is at the park by the VSL studios. Everyone, no exception. Lol. Well, goodbye. Oh, this is awesome, really. Like, of all the games that I've played this year, I gotta say, like, in terms of drama, in terms of character, in terms of just how relatable the story is, this is just the best I've seen this year. In a year with games like Witcher 3 and Metal Gear Solid 5, this is by far away the best story so far. Maybe Game of Thrones, you could argue, is better, but, you know, that's an argument. Sure. Game of Thrones by Telltale, but still, bloody hell, I love this. I really do love it. For all the cringeworthy moments and for all the laughter, I actually genuinely am having a good time playing this game, even if I'm destroying my throat by reading all of this. How terrible would it be to have spent all of the last night celebrating for nothing? Truth be told, whether Accel leaked the information now or let it come out on its own, we'd eventually get this reaction. Enoch wouldn't have signed us without doing proper background research anyway. Maybe it's alright for this to be out in the open ahead of time. I set these thoughts aside when Namdan Park comes into view. The crowded tree line and trimmed green is a welcome departure from Seoul's endless concrete. Okay. She's in the middle of chewing him out, though it's hard to tell by the green he's wearing. Have you seen what they're saying online? The team has to stand out somehow. Better this than limping into the scene and wallowing in obscurity. We should stand out by winning games, not by stirring up shit. This wasn't your decision to make. Accel is the first to notice my arrival and waves me over. Jet's acknowledgement follows, though it's far less welcoming. Did you know he was going to pull off something like this? What? No. Relax, Jet. Seriously, worrying will give you gray hairs. I'll relax the moment that I'm staring at the contract for 6 months of funding. Jet's stance goes rigid at the buzz of her phone. She rips it out of her pocket and stares at the screen. Who is it? Kim, he wants us to meet at the Enoch office to sort out this mess. That's a good thing, right? He won't bother to have us come. She doesn't seem to agree given the time it takes her to reply. Share a glance with Accel before Jet shoves the phone back into her pocket and turns to me. We need to get moving. Accel, wait here for Stunt and Riva. Fine by me? Axel takes in a deep breath and returns to his bench, no doubt happy to relax while someone else handles the stress of a meeting. I'm coming with you? I'm not enough of a jerk to leave Stunt and Riva alone at the park for an hour, but I need someone at my back. When you put it that way, alright. Then come on, it's not that far. Without a moment to spare, Jet storms off. Oh, Accel, you prick. What have you done? Let me do most of the talking, but chime in if it makes sense. Alright. Nervous? No. Don't lie to me, I'm nervous. It's fine to be nervous, I'm fine. When the elevator door opens, a well-dressed Enoch employee greets us with a smile and gestures down the hall. Mr. Kim has been anticipating your arrival. This way, please. I follow Jet through a typical corporate office. Aside the table sits Mr. Kim, his attention set on a laptop. He glances past the screen to acknowledge us with a beckon forward. Jet, Mac, please sit. We take our seats opposite him. The secretary closes the boardroom door, leaving the three of us on our own. Oh, what is this? What? And I thought that the English sites were bad. Before I can read another comment, Mr. Kim forces the laptop shut with a grimace. When I spoke of my interest, the sponsor with the board most of were hesitant to take the risk, even with my assurance that the investment would be worth it in the end. Given the recent developments, I'd simply have to retract my recommendation, take the hit to my reputation. Our team has become a liability without having played a single game. He rests his finger on his brow, expression fraught. This is more than Jet and I had planned for. Do you have anything to say? This wasn't the reaction that we were hoping for, but it shows that people are paying attention to us. Not all attention is created equal. It is most important that the Enoch team has a large number of supporters and not slack-jawed or passive observers. Fans that are invested in the team's victory. You'll immediately have 5 people invested in an Enoch squad if you sign us. For narrowed eyes, Mr. Kim shifts his eyes in my direction. Ooh. I blink once. Me? Are you truly surprised? Your ability is completely unproven. While Accel and Jen may have their integrity, questions you who the fans mock. If our own fan base doesn't have faith in your ability to win games, then what the use are you? What? I'm a good player. I just need time to prove it. Time that you haven't earned. I hear myself tripping over my next protest. Right then, Jet cuts in. Mr. Kim, there must be something we can do, and Accel and I are high profile. Even with a rocky start, we both have loyal fans that will follow us to a new team. That may be so, but the public's perception of Mac remains an issue. Is it worth the trouble of keeping her on when your reputation has been compromised? He links his finger to Kendra and glances between the two of us, waiting an answer. We could arrange something to fix that. Oh, elaborate. A show match, the perfect chance to showcase Mac's ability to compete. Against someone from your team, fans will assume that the match is fixed on her behalf. No, I have someone else in mind. Someone who has Starcraft fans know and respect, and then Mac owes a beating. She turns towards and locks eyes with me. Is she talking about a show match with Bolt? I mean, you're not allowed to turn this down. I wasn't planning on it, just how are you going to get them to agree? I know Bolt well. He'll jump at the chance to publicly humiliate someone he doesn't like. A best of 5 will do nicely, and I think it would be fair for Enoch to put half a month's worth of team funding in as the prize, wouldn't you say it? Jen turns away from me and towards Mr. Kim. For the first time since we stepped in the room, the businessman cracks a smile. If you ever decide to leave StarCraft behind, you're welcome to interview for any open sales position at Enoch Jet. Very well, if Mac is victorious in this showman match, I'll consider your team's reputation redeemed. I don't bother asking what will happen if I lose. God, what did I do to deserve this pressure? Would you mind speaking with the producers at the VSL studio to see if they would be willing to host us? A week from today is short notice, but we don't have any longer to waste. I'll have it done. You're very lucky to have someone like Jet as your team captain, Mac. When I don't respond, he smirks. Satisfied, Kim rises from his leather office chair. Jet and I quickly follow suit and exchange handshakes with him. As he meets his palm with mine, Mr. Kim leans forward and whispers to me. For the record, I would greatly prefer to see you succeed. Don't let the mistake in the next week end your career before it's begun. Nonchalantly, he parts from our grip and departs the conference room with long strides. His secretary skitters from after him down the hallway, leaving Jet and me to find our own way back to the elevator. Well, you came to the Golden Zone Fire looking for a chance. Now you've got one. Happy? You stuck up for me. Yes, and I guess I thought that you'd have done what was best for the team. Who said I'm not? Mr. Kim? I don't recall putting him in charge of team management. What kind of team captain would I be if I tossed you out onto the street after recruiting Stunt and Reva? I don't know, you said yourself that you wouldn't put the goals of friendship ahead of the goals of the team. Oh, in that case, it's not too late for me to go to Miss Little Kim then. If she insists on paying me back, do so by practicing hard and beating the shit out of Bolt. It's been way too long since I've seen him lose in person. And for the record, I know what I said, but the more I think about it, the more messed up it seems that we'd waste our careers with people we hate. So for now, I've decided that I like you. Don't make me regret that. So much for cold efficiency, and I'll do my best, as I expected of anyone that wears my team's colors. Now come on, before someone mistakes Accel for a bum. Just before the elevators close, Mr. Kim turns the corner of his office and watches us go. Interesting. Drama. Alright, Costin here on Serious Gaming, signing out.